transformation in Africa. The European Union and Nepal join in this course to fortify data governance, safeguard data rights of citizens, and digital resilience.
Please see this as also a trainer program where we get back to our country so that we just dump all we've acquired there. Let's try and see how we can organize different teams, different organizations, different countries. Try to impact knowledge.
The EU remains your long-term partner, committed to multilateralism, digital inclusion, and African digital sovereignty.
The call for more strategic investments to transform policy into action re-echoed with the Senate Committee on ICT and Cybersecurity.
The people that can make this thing happen are the lawmakers in your country. If you do not engage them, if they do not understand what the issues are, it is a lot easier to legislate on roads, on buildings, on something physical than to legislate on data.
The wait for Nigeria's digital economy and e-governance bill to become an act of parliament is on as the country navigates towards a secured cyberspace dominated with the currency of data. In Abuja, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
On the health front, West Africa has learned valuable lessons from Ebola, COVID-19 and Lassa fever. But Lassa fever has proven to be a recurring disease in the sub-region, threatening ECOWAS health security priorities. Curtailing the spread of Lassa fever is therefore the major concern for experts at the regional conference holding in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. Kelvin Ewunayi reports.
A convergence of global experts in infectious disease control brought together by the West African Health Organization, WAHU, in furtherance of ECOWAS Health Security Initiative. Scientists, policymakers and donor agencies are brainstorming on how to work out a roadmap to find solutions to Lassa fever threat in the sub-region, with major focus on finalizing research on vaccination, identifying as most realistic solution as cost of treatment to ribavirin, the only available drug, continue to surge, and mortality rates on the rise in many West African countries. What Nigeria and Senegal have done in scaling up diagnostic efficiency in Lassa fever control over the years is one that gives hope that the scourge can be overcome with enhanced regional collaboration, which ECOWAS is seeking with this conference.
I believe that a lot of progress has been made in the Lassa fever field since the last meeting. We just need to increase the momentum. We certainly need a lot more investment to move things along, and we need more hands on deck.
Here is finding a roadmap for a governance structure for managing Lassa fever and other infectious diseases, using templates from countries like Nigeria and Senegal to accelerating regional solutions. In Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, Kelvin Ewunayi, NTA News.
Back home in Nigeria, the country has taken delivery of essential maternal and newborn health commodities valued at 30 billion naira. The initiative is part of President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda aimed at revitalizing the country's health sector. Olusheye Adiago reports.
For decades, Nigeria has borne one of the world's highest maternal mortality rates. To confront this crisis, the Nigerian government launched the Maternal and Neonatal Mortality Reduction Innovation Initiative, MAMI, on the President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. Data shows that 172 priority local government areas across 33 states account for 55% of all maternal deaths. In response, MAMI has already been rolled out in 21 of those 33 states. To support this rollout, 21 categories of essential maternal and neonatal health commodities will be distributed.
When you don't have enough resources or time to go everywhere at once, what you do is you prioritize where the need is biggest. And that's the basis for selecting 10 states to start with. Identified local governments. 80 out of the 172 MAMI local governments are in these 10 states, and supporting them with these commodities.
Each state, the 21 states we have been to, they actually have done their annual operation plan, and they have the MAMI implementation plan all inside the annual operation plan, meaning government budget will, be used to fund this AOP, and whatever that is coming from here now is basically to prime the pump.
For development partners, MAMI represents more than a government program. It's a reaffirmation of collective commitments to protecting the lives of mothers and newborns across the country. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
From health to education and literacy, Nigerians can close the gap of digital exclusion and open doors to a brighter and inclusive future for all if they work together, says First Lady Oluremi Tinubu in her message marking this year's International Literacy Day with the theme Promoting Literacy in the Digital Era. While noting that the focus of the celebration challenges the nation to empower its youth, women and the underprivileged with the tools to thrive in a digital world, the First Lady expresses a strong conviction that a literate population is the foundation of boundless opportunities. The National Business and Technical Examination Board, NABTEB, has held a review and validation of syllabi of 26 trades for technical colleges towards achieving educational excellence and economic transformation in the sector. Dennis Adegunloye reports that this initiative is expected to reshape the technical education landscape in Nigeria.
With the ultimate aim of developing a syllabus that will prepare young people for modern economic success, this review and validation exercise represents a collective commitment to ensuring that Nigeria's technical education system remains dynamic, relevant, and aligned with both national development objectives and international best practices. The National Business and Technical Examination Board, as the premier examining body for technical and business education, recognizes that assessment frameworks must evolve to meet the demands of the modern economy, and this initiative is designed to respond directly to 21st century challenges, ensuring graduates are equipped with applicable skills for today's dynamic labor market. The 26 trade areas under review and developed by the National Board for Technical Education represent critical sectors pivotal to Nigeria's economic diversification agenda and the quest for technological independence.
Everyone you see here, they are experts in various fields. Those groups will now meet and help us to transmit this curriculum to syllabus.
This exercise is to ensure that the review of the curricula take full consideration of the skill needs of the industry, so that when people leave our technical colleges, they are industry relevant and they are work ready.
For this initiative to succeed, there is an appeal for industry partnerships by way of internship opportunities, workplace learning experiences, and employment pathways. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress, APC, has described as false a statement attributed to former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, which alleges that President Tinubu is destabilizing opposition political parties. National Publicity Secretary of APC, Felix Morka, says Tambuwal's appearance on television making unsubstantiated allegations against President Tinubu and the APC is regrettable. The APC urges him and the Africa Democratic Congress, ADC, to fix their internal crisis and face charges of movement of monies by the anti-graft agencies and stop distracting Nigerians. This is the Network News on NTA. Stay tuned for more reports. It's nice to know you're still watching the Network News on NTA. The 11th Annual Conference of Public Accounts Committees of West African Parliaments is holding in Abuja with emphasis on strengthening oversight of public debt, deepening fiscal discipline and ensuring public resources are delivered to the people. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Data from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's domestic and foreign debt at first quarter 2024 stood at 121.67 trillion naira, indicating growth of 24.99% on quarter basis. In line with this development, Nigeria is leveraging on the WAPAC conference to chart the way of addressing debt surge in the member nations.
Rising debt levels, elevated debt service costs, constrained revenues, and shrinking development finance collide with, of course, the usual growing, almost unlimited demands for public spending.
The rising burden of public debt has become a matter of urgent national and regional concern. While it is widely accepted that public debt remains a vital instrument for financing development, it must be emphasized that such debt must remain sustainable, transparent, and justifiable.
Other participants stressed the need for strong parliamentary oversight in the pursuit of vital goals as West African nations grappled with severe fiscal pressures of public debt.
I urge us all to see this as a continental responsibility to ensure that our debt framework are transparent.
Public debt, when managed prudently, can be a tool for growth and prosperity.
It is expected that meaningful outcomes will emerge where nations will be freed from the weight of unsustainable debts and align with the needs of citizens. From the National Assembly, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Still talking aligning the needs of citizens, Nigeria is committed to harnessing emerging technologies as catalysts for national transformation, innovation and productivity. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation stated this at the annual National Management Conference of the Nigeria Institute of Management, Chartered, held in Abuja. Deborah Balagbubu reports.
The strategic roundtable is aimed at equipping managers and professionals with the knowledge and tools to harness emerging technologies for business growth. With the theme, leveraging emerging technologies to drive innovation, creativity and productivity, it is an opportunity to share knowledge and explore latest best practices in the management and technology adoption.
And we all agree that in this era of technology, there should be a better interface between technology, artificial intelligence, and the workplace, where indeed humanoids and robots are beginning to take over some workspaces.
President Tinubu is ensuring that Nigeria not only keeps pace with global technology trends, but also leverage them to unlock creativity, drive industrial competitiveness, and create sustainable jobs for millions of Nigerians.
Technology is something that we must all embrace. Nigeria will be better than the US when we are able to convert our negative energy into positive energy.
This year's conference will feature panel discussions and breakout sessions on topics such as artificial intelligence, youth empowerment, and human capital development to address modern management challenges. In Abuja, Deborah Balagbubu, NTA News.
Stories of resilience and transformation are unfolding in Jigawa State as global development partners spotlight the state's bold steps to secure a healthier, smarter and climate-ready future. From upgraded health centers and schools to renewed hope for women and children, Jigawa is redefining what sustainable development means at the grassroots. Muhammad Musa Askira reports.
Development Director of the UK's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, Cynthia Rowe, says the state's determination to tackle climate change and strengthen healthcare systems is not just impressive but vital for sustainable growth. On her part, UNICEF country representative Wafa Said explains that the delegation is in the state to formally hand over climate-resilient infrastructure executed by the partners. She commended Jigawa for achieving 60% immunization coverage and for returning thousands of out-of-school children back to the classroom.
What we hope is that through the modelling that we are doing here today, that we will find a model that can scale up across Jigawa, across other states and across Nigeria.
We have upgraded 29 facilities. Of these, 12 are health centers and 17 are school, using climate smart solutions.
As a mark of our appreciation for these interventions and considering their long-term positive impact, Jigawa State Government will pursue a gradual scale-up of the CRIPS initiative.
Already, under the Climate Resilient Infrastructure for Primary Health Systems program, over 90 facilities have been upgraded in the last 2 years. Out of 287 primary healthcare facilities across Jigawa political wards, 181 have now been modernized, with another 40 currently under renovation. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Meanwhile, in Kano, hope has shifted from promise to reality. Under President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, families once confined to tents and makeshift shelters are now stepping into permanent homes. At the Itache resettlement city in Ganduje, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons has gone beyond pledges, delivering palliatives worth millions of naira to restore dignity and self-reliance. Fatima Sanusik Arai reports.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, rebuilding shattered lives, is finding real expression in Kano. At the Itache resettlement city in Ganduje, the Wakintofa local government area, 150 displaced men, women and children have exchanged years of uncertainty for the keys to 100 brand new homes. Along with shelter came vital tools such as farming equipment and school materials distributed.
The total of over 11 million naira was invested to procure these items for us to reduce the burdens of these internally displaced persons.
For Hadiza Abubakar, whose husband was kidnapped a decade ago, raising 2 daughters alone was a struggle. Today, with 2-bedroom apartment and the means to farm her own food, Hadiza says dignity has been restored.
Wherever we go, we used to face a lot of challenges, but thank God for the support we get from the Humanitarian Commission.
We really appreciate the effort so far made by the Commission.
For thousands of internally displaced persons, government support is more than policy. In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Arai, NTA News.
Thank you, Fatima. Pharaoh John Umunubo has been relieved of his appointment as the Special Assistant to the President on Digital and Creative Economy, Office of the Vice President, with immediate effect. A statement by the Director, Information and Public Relations, State House, Abiodun Oladunjoyi, urges the general public not to have any dealings with him in relation to his former office. It's now time to join Adeola in Lagos for more news. Adeola.
Traffic on the Third Mainland Bridge was hampered early Monday morning when residents protesting the demolition of structures at Oworoshoki community mounted barricades to prevent vehicles from descending the bridge at Oworoshoki BRT terminal. Musa Toliet has the rest of the report.
Aggrieved protesters came in large numbers, chanting and preventing free flow of traffic from the Third Mainland Bridge. They accused the Lagos State government of rendering several families homeless and stranded after demolishing their houses without due notice or compensation. The protest caused severe gridlock on the ever-busy Third Mainland Bridge, forcing motorists and some commuters to negotiate alternative routes into the Lagos mainland. Distress calls from motorists necessitated the intervention of a detachment of police personnel from the Lagos State Police Command. Commissioner of Police Olondare Jimoh advised residents to embrace peaceful and lawful protest so that their grievances will not meet untold hardship on innocent members of the public.
When I came, I spoke to them, addressed them, and let them know the need not to be violent and the need not to be law-abiding and not to take law into their hand. But all my appeal to them fall on deaf ear, and we have to use minimum force to push them off the road so that members of the public can have access to the way. Your rights stop where you want to infringe on other people's rights. You don't do this if you have any reason whatsoever to complain about any action being taken by any government at whatsoever level. You have the laid down way to do so.
Free flow of vehicular traffic has resumed, and there is deployment of police personnel to ensure law and order is not threatened in the axis. In Lagos, Musa Toliad, NTA News.
The newly appointed trade envoy to Nigeria, Florence Eshalomi, has highlighted fintech and the creative economy as fundamental areas of collaboration between Nigeria and the UK to promote economic prosperity. She disclosed this during a meeting with leaders of Nigeria business community in Lagos. Amaka Owo reports.
Lagos is set to have the fastest growing innovative fintech ecosystem and creative economy. Definitely, this suggests the commercial nerve center as a favorable investment destination and has given rise to the recent visit of government officials from the United Kingdom to Nigeria with the objective of extending operations of British businesses to Nigeria. Officials of the British High Commission say the strength of the commercial relationship between Britain and Nigeria is valued at £8 billion, with an annual growth put at 9%.
The two countries already share a deep history, cultural ties, the language, food, the culture. There is influences of Nigeria right throughout the UK and vice versa. So it's how we build on that to look at supporting economic development, to look at supporting job creation, to look at supporting those key trade deals. So you've got schemes like the ETIP, you've got schemes like the developing countries' trade investment, which is vital for Nigeria.
The UK seeks to deepen its trade partnership with Nigeria, especially in the areas where they have the advanced experience of value addition, such as the fintech and the creative sector, where Nigerians are set to occupy a predominant position at a global level. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. The network news will continue in Abuja in a bit.
This is the network news on NTA. We're talking industrial matters. The federal government is in a closed-door meeting led by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Muhammad Megarit Ngyadi, with representatives of the Nigeria Labour Congress, the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, and the Dangote Group. The meeting is aimed at resolving the lingering dispute over the unionization rights of Dangote employees. Before the session went behind closed doors, the minister appealed to all parties to consider the wider implications of the ongoing Nupeng strike on the nation's economy. He says this is gradually stabilizing. The Trade Union Congress of Nigeria has rejected the federal government's planned 5% tax on petroleum products. The labor union, in a statement by the General President Festus Osifo, says the workers are yet to overcome the economic realities following the subsidy removal. The TUC has therefore issued a 14-day ultimatum to federal government to withdraw the plan. Let's now join Musa Abubakar of our business desk for highlights. Musa?
Thank you, Naja. The Executive Secretary of NIT, Dr. Oji Bonaya Oji, has urged civil society organizations to adopt a new agenda in Nigeria's extractive governance. Speaking during a courtesy visit to CISLAC in Abuja, he said civil society organizations must move beyond routine advocacy to evidence-based, solution-driven leadership, tracking energy transition commitments, analyzing disclosures, and tackling illicit financial flows. He highlighted NIT's partnerships with agencies such as EFCC, ICPC, NFIU, MBS, and NMPC Limited, as well as the creation of Data Center for Real-Time Disclosures. Dr. Oji challenged CISLAC to expand its work from bulletins to peer-reviewed journals that strengthen civic knowledge and global thought leadership.
Their roles from monitoring to providing broader oversight of extractive industries, from routine advocacy to knowledge leadership.
Let us recommit our shared values of transparency, accountability, and citizens' engagement. Let us continue to champion reforms that make the extractive sector more responsive to the needs of Nigerian people.
And the stock market, the Nigeria stock market closed today's trading session on a positive note, extending gains for investors. The all-share index advanced to 139,394.75 points, reflecting sustained investor confidence. A total of 36,036 deals were executed, with market activity driven by a robust turnover of over 947 million units of shares, valued at 17.97 billion naira. Meanwhile, the market capitalization climbed to 88.2 trillion naira, highlighting renewed momentum across key sectors. PZ Cussons Nigeria led to the gainers with 10% share price appreciation, closing at 35 naira 20 kobo per share, followed by University, Press, LR Lakes, and Legend Internet. On the losing side, Nigerian Enamel Wear came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of 10% at 35 naira 10 kobo per share, followed by Industrial and Medical Gases, Union Deconsult, and Thomas Yath Nigeria. With today's outcome, the equities market maintained its bullish run, closing the session firmly in positive territory. That's it. The news continues after the break.
No excuses, just results. The firm directive from the Minister of Regional Development, Abubakar Momo, who issued the charge during a strategic retreat in Abuja to management teams of Nigeria's newly inaugurated development commissions, Ekene Undulue reports.
The event marked the official launch of what the Minister of Regional Development described as a collective mission to build a better Nigeria, one underserved region at a time. With President Bola Tinubu's development blueprint on the table, the message to the newly appointed commission heads was clear. No room for excuses, only results that impact lives.
The presidential priorities of this administration, of the Renew Hope administration, must be your guide in whatever you do, so that you align your projects, your programs and your policies to all this area.
These commissions are the instruments through which his Renewed Hope covenant with Nigerians will be felt at the grassroots level.
Director General, Bureau of Public Procurement, who anchored the retreat, harped on due process and accountability in procurement. He warned that violations will not go unpunished.
It is not buying keke napep that is development. Development is when in 10 years, 20 years, people see interconnected railways. They see iconic hospitals.
As the commissions prepare to roll out development projects across the country, the public watches with optimism, eager to see words turned into action and promises into progress. In Abuja, Ekene Undulue, NTA News.
And now for action of a different kind. Sports update live with Ayo Makinde. Ayo, over to you.
Thanks so much, Najatu. We'll begin with football, where Super Eagles are in high spirits ahead of their match day 8 encounter with Bafana of South Africa as they bid to keep their hopes of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup alive. Beaming with confidence and motivation from their 1-0 win over Rwanda in Uyo, coach Eric Schell is keeping his cards close to his chest as the cheers are on for the maximum points against South Africa at the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein on Tuesday after their training session hours ago.
We know that this is a big game, so I'm really happy to play this game. Like my players, we are happy, and this is the moment to do a great game.
A level of confidence because of the preparation that we have done. There's no arrogance or because we think something has happened in the game before. So we've prepared well. We'll continue to prepare well today. We're looking forward to the training session. And then tomorrow is a new game, new opportunity. But yeah, we definitely have a belief in what we can do as a team.
The match is slated for 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Elsewhere, FIFA will reduce the number of international windows from 4 to 3 in a major change announced by the World Football Governing Body. The adjustment is designed to minimize disruptions to domestic leagues, aligning qualifiers, friendlies and other fixtures into well-defined breaks. This initiative will ease player fatigue, cut down on excessive travel, and create a better balance between club and country commitments. Mixed reactions have met this development, but FIFA maintains it will prioritize player welfare and improve the quality of football. That's your sports. It's back to Najatu.
Thank you very much, Ayo. President Tinubu expresses sorrow over the passing of Leila Euphemia Fowler, lawyer, renowned educationist and founder of Vivian Fowler Memorial College for Girls in Lagos. Fowler, the Yeye Mofin of Lagos and mother of Babatunde Fowler, former chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, died aged 92 years. President Tinubu extends heartfelt condolences to the Fowler family, friends, associates, the management and students of Vivian Fowler Memorial College and the people of Lagos State. The death of Jonathan Adole has been announced. He died aged 60 years. Burial arrangements signed by Chief Patrick Ogbu on behalf of his League of Friends and classmates indicate that there will be a Requiem Mass at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Aguiyi-Ironsi-Way, Maitama, by 4 p.m. on Wednesday, September 10, 2025, and service of songs and night of tributes will follow at the event center within the church premises by 6 p.m. On Thursday, September 11, Buddy leaves Gariki Medical Center Mortuary Abuja for Makudi for lying in state by 6 p.m. at his residence, number 20 at Ongbera Road, Makudi. Funeral Mass will hold at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Cathedral, Naka Road, Makudi by 8 a.m. Friday, September 12, followed by burial rites and interment at Upa Adoka. And now let's check out the weather forecast.
Hello and you're welcome. Our weather systems gradually begin its southward shift, bringing the rains more to the central eastern part of the southern cities. Sunday was quite wet as we saw places over the country, particularly speaking of the Federal Capital Territory, recording rains for over 6 hours straight. There's still prospects of rains come Tuesday, and we expect the bulk of these rains to be over the coastal parts of the country, speaking about southern Cross River into parts of Akwa Ibom, rivers into Imo and Bayelsa State. Ample rains are also expected over parts of Kogi into Niger and parts of Kwara, with likelihood of flash flooding over this area and the coastal parts of the country. And that's it from here. See you again.
The outlook in Abuja seems to be cloudy and rainy. That concludes the network news on NTA. We'll leave you with these clips of the moon, which turned blood red on Sunday, 7th September. Many missed the rare phenomenon in parts of Abuja where it rained for more than an hour, the full duration of the celestial event. For those who missed the celestial spectacle, be reminded that the next lunar event is a total lunar eclipse expected on 2nd to 3rd March 2026. That's your network news. Thank you for staying with us.